Welcome everybody, I'm Delson Holloway, Executive Vice President of DONDIVA magazine. I'm here with Kevin Childs, the CEO. So now, just so y'all know, right, we're gonna get into the serious exclusive interview. And the reason why we're doing it, you know, we don't come out and bring the cameras for anybody. You know, we don't do a lot of rappers. So this is really, really special. I'm super proud to have MYSONNE, New York General here. So what's up to the people, DONDIVA style.
You already know who it is, your boy MYSONNE, NY General. I want to give a big shout out to DONDIVA, always holding us down, giving us every dimension of the streets. Also want to give a big shout out to Kevin Childs and Tiffany Childs and Delson.
You did the freestyle on FunkFlex, and he's got like 18, 20 million views in I think less than 2 weeks, right? And we're gonna jump right into that because this is so spectacular, particularly now in this day and age with the internet, Facebook, social media thing. And
the content that he's
right. But we're gonna get into all of that. Okay. But what I wanted to get right to the people was, why do you think that happened? First of all, hold up, let's go back. How long you been rapping? Give your history and all of that, because there's people who don't even know who you are.
I've been doing this. My first track came out in '98. I was on the Rough Riders soundtrack. Volume 1. Then I was on the Violators album. I was on Mace's album. I was on DMX's album. Shortly after that, I got incarcerated in 1999. From 1999 to 2006, I was incarcerated. Came home in 2006. And just pretty much been grinding since 2006.
What has your grind been consistent of?
It's been consistent of different, you know, music. Also, first of all, you know, I started out, did a few mixtapes. Then I just started having just like re-strategize, because you understand how music is now. It's just it's different. Content is different. It's less about content. It's more about gimmicks and
buffoonery.
Fads and things of that nature. And that's never been who I was. So I wasn't trying to peacefully coexist in something that wasn't me. So I kept force feeding them. This is what I am. You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't you not give up?
Because I know the talent level that I have. And I done sat in a room with the greats. Like, I've been there with Jay-Z and them looking at me like I was an alien when I was rhyming. DMX was one of my mentors. Like, I done had the Locks tell me I was their favorite artist. Like, you know, the artists that I respected. I remember Raekwon telling me I was a legend. So it's like, when you know that the level of talent that you have, and you know that eventually, if you given the right opportunity on the right platform, that the world's gonna recognize that. You know, it's just like, I felt like for me not to be able to do what I do is a disservice to the gift that I was given.
Now, one of the things that impressed me, right? I follow the FunkFlex Freestyle every time you put one up. And we follow each other on Instagram, of course, and I seen it actually on somebody else's page. And the lyrical content caught me, of course, because of my background. And I was like, wow. And it resonated with me. It gave me chills. And I tell you, I immediately called you and I said, man, this freestyle is all that. And I sent it to everybody on my phone. Did you know it was going to do what it did? Because it's right now at how many million?
I mean, roughly on the platforms that I'm on, just on Facebook alone is at 18 million views. On just the regular YouTube channel, I think it's at 500,000. On my YouTube, it's at 100,000, and that's not even counting on countless other just streams it is. But I was aware that what I was talking about was going to resonate with us. You understand what I'm saying? And I was saying to myself, is a lot of people that want to hear this. They just been used to something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they want to hear this. They looking for real. Or being in these clubs and running around knowing that people just wanted authenticity. And I kept telling Flex, like, I was.
What, he didn't want to let you come up there?
Nah, it wasn't. I don't know if he didn't want to, but I don't know if he was convinced on what I was going to do, or even the fact that people wanted to hear what I was going to do. Because we just got to be honest. Like, it's about relevance in this game, and it's like, if you ain't one of the biggest artists, or you ain't got 2 million followers on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? My relationships kept me was, you know, moving throughout the industry because I had a lot of relationships and a lot of people had respect for me. But a lot of them just didn't feel like, okay, nobody's gonna really listen to Mice right now. He was hot in 1998. He was hot in 1999. It's a different era, and I know that's, but they wouldn't say that.
Right.
But you know, because of my relationships, it just kept me just abreast and kept me afloat in the industry. And so when I reached out to Flex out of respect, he would be like, all right, Mike, we're gonna find the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a priority because, you know, MYSONNE is not the hot thing, wasn't the hot thing right then. So the people that was hot right then is who he was bringing up to the show. He's the people that people want to hear, and that's just pretty much what the business is. But just out of respect for me, him always having respect for me, he's like, I'm gonna get to you, Mice, I'm gonna get to you. And then I gave him the single, which he loved, and he started blasting again, and it picked up. And then I still was on him like, all right, the single was dope, but I need this freestyle because this is gonna change hip hop. I'm telling you, and I kept saying, I'm telling you, when people hear this, it's gonna change the complexion of the culture. And then he was like, all right, and he finally gave me a date.
So what you did? You sat down and constructed this before you went like, yeah, I gotta say this.
I sat down and said to myself, I need to put together bars that are gonna do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a cultural deficiency right now in our communities. There are people looking up to a lifestyle that the people that they looking up to never even lived the lifestyle. So the information that they giving them is totally wrong. So I said I wouldn't be who I am to allow you to keep misleading these kids and misleading these people because they don't know no better.
Right.
So I said to myself, how do I construct something that is gonna save our kids and put things in a proper perspective? You know what I'm saying? I've been in jail and I understand there's nothing in jail.
We was talking earlier.
You understand what I'm saying? I've been in the streets and I understand that there are two ends to the streets. Any real dude, anybody that's really been in the streets knows that. So I've been around I've been around our kind my whole life. And none of us is glorifying that lifestyle. All of us is saying this is something that we had to do, or this is something that we felt was a means to an end. This was something that all we knew how to gain success. And when we realized when we was in it, we was trying to figure out a way to get out and transition to be able to do something better. But that's not what's being portrayed in music now. It's just the complete glorification. It's lies, it's myths. You got the super thugs, the super gangsters, the super hut, to where there's never any consequences. And that's just not real. So you understand what I'm saying? Knowing that I got brothers, I got sons, I got nephews that look up and they listen to these artists, and I'm like, but that's not real. You know what I'm saying? And when there's nothing to combat that, it's like having a presidential election and it's only one candidate. You win by default.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, regardless of what happens, I have to give them, I have to be the other candidate. Win, lose, or draw, I got to be the other candidate because I just know better. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I constructed this, that's what my whole thing was. It's like, I can't keep letting y'all lie and mislead and destroy our whole culture and our youth and our future with lies. Like, listen, we understand that this is a reality for people. The streets is a reality. Some of us don't know no better. Some of us, that's gonna be that first way to get any level of success. But understand the realities that come with that. Understand that when you do this happens. It ain't no you gonna sell drugs forever and live happily ever. That's not the reality of this thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be a thug, you're not gonna be shooting people, and you're gonna be the super thug and not get shot. It's just not gonna happen. So that's what my part is. Like, you know, I understand there's a reality. People still engage in the streets. My life hasn't evolved past that, but there are a lot of people who live that, and a lot of these dudes I still respect, and I have conversations with them and say, okay, so what is next? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what these rappers tell you, that shit don't last for long. You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do about it? So I wanted to go up there and have a reality I wanted to talk directly to the people. I was having a conversation. I wasn't up there rapping. It was me conversing with people that probably was looking for something and didn't understand where they could get it from. And I wanted to let them know this is where you can get it.
The thing that also sparked my interest while we actually, even me and Kev was going back and forth, and I said, look, we need to really get us through the look in our form, because when it comes to the street, we're considered the gospel, right? And rewind a little bit when you said you're not glorifying that, and I want you to reiterate that you're not glorifying that life. We was just speaking earlier about somebody was on your gram talking about you speak with 2 different tongues, whatever.
There's a reality that you got to speak to the ear of the people. You know, if people like stuff that's shiny, you know, and you understand that. So I'm gonna show you the shiny, but then let you understand, but this is what happens with the shiny.
Right.
I understand that when I was 17, 18, and I was growing up, and it was educated brothers, it was good-hearted brothers that came to me and were trying to give me, but I couldn't identify with them because they didn't look or sound like me.
Right.
It wasn't nothing to them that made me feel like they even understood where I was coming from. I came from, my mother was a drug addict, my father died when I was 13, I had a little sister, I had to figure out how to survive. So what they was talking about wasn't my reality. Right. They were just saying, it's about God and it's about this and doing the right thing and go to school. Everybody I seen that went to school was working a 9 to 5 and it wasn't nothing profitable. My grandmother died with nothing and she worked every day of her life. So that didn't really make sense to me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I wasn't able to identify with that reality. So I understand that me coming to some kids, having that same conversation, I'm wasting my time. Mm-hmm. So I gotta explain to you, okay, I understand that. I understand you want the clothes, I understand you want this, and you will get it eventually. But then this is what comes with that. Mm-hmm. So what is the process in between you dying in the streets or you doing life in your jail? What is the process? Because some people don't even know how to transition from the streets.
How did you do that?
Well, I had to go to jail actually.
But did it? Okay. Nah, let's pause right there.
Yeah.
You went to jail. In jail, you made the transition? And was it conscious, subconscious, or when you came out?
I mean, I made the transition in jail.
So what happened specifically and succinctly? Can you identify that?
What happened specifically to me is that I was surrounded by scholars. You know, a bunch of old timers that had been in the streets and they had evolved so much. And they took me under their wing at 20 years old because I was listening. I was a sponge. And they understood that and they told me, listen, I'm never leaving here. You know what I'm saying? It was dudes that said, I'm never leaving here and these dudes glorify me. And they're gonna try to live my life and this is what's gonna end up happening to them. So I need you because I think that you have the ability to tell that to somebody and make a difference. And they gave me that responsibility. So I owed it to the dudes that took me under their wing to say, I gotta come out here and do something different. You know what I'm saying? I can't. A lot of times what happens in prison is that people have a plan. But when you go to prison, most people don't plan to fail. Mm-hmm. So when you don't plan to fail, you immediately go back to your comfort zone. Because you go out there, you got all this, I'm gonna get me a job, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this loan, my man gonna give me this. And when you come home and those first 5 things don't happen, you go back to what you know how to do. So I came home playing and fail. I said, he was like, you're gonna be the biggest rap artist. I said, that's not necessary. I've been going for 7 years. The whole trajectory, everything changed. I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? So when I came home and I hit that and I had to just figure out how to grind day by day, I was prepared. Nobody couldn't put no pressure on me to be, you supposed to be this. Or I know you to be in this. You're supposed to have, I know who I am. But I know that I can't do nothing in prison. So I'm not gonna put my life in jeopardy and risk my kid's father to make you feel comfortable with who I am. And a lot of us don't understand that. So when you make that plan, when you make that decision, that regardless of whatever's going on, I'm not going back to prison. Because there's nothing I can do in prison. And it's designed for you to go back to prison. They take your life for you and then tell you to start from scratch. Knowing that only thing you're going to do is result to the thing that got you in there in the first place. So it's all by design. So when you smart enough and you realize the design, you got to figure out a way not to fall victim to that. You know, so that's when I made that conscious decision in there. And
now was that okay? Because that wasn't easy. I know that fact. So speak to the difficulties that you encountered when you made that conscious. Because see. Okay, so let's go here for a second. We're going back, speaking about the young cats. My life is parallel to yours.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? And all the time, I have guys go, Dale, how you did that? Man, you got arrested on, you got this, you got that, you got this, you got the magazine. I've been home for 16 years. And they negate all of that. Yeah. And for the first 3 years I was home, I didn't have a car. The first 5 years I drove, what was that I drove? A Murano. You know what I'm saying? And I used to pull up because I was a super duper car dude. And they be like, Dad, what you got now? I got a Murano. And they go, you got a Murano? what's that, the download car? Nah, that's just my car.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I probably say in the last 5-6 years, things started to come together. In terms of building my credit up, it was a process. But people don't understand, appreciate, or respect the process. So I want you to speak to the process, because what I know what you went through and what you're still going through, and it ain't easy to get that 20 million views. That didn't happen last week. There was a build-up.
It's a build-up, man. It's like, and now I'm able to put out music that I made 7 to 8 years ago, and all of those people are saying, yo, this is the way you've been my whole life. And I don't get mad at it, because the reality is, if you don't know, you just don't know. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a platform, you just gotta give them what they, now that you're paying attention, I'm gonna give you what you've been missing all this time. The process is very hard, man, especially when you have a lifestyle and you're accustomed to certain things, and you have a certain reputation, like you said, for pulling up in nice cars and having all these things, and then you don't. You know what I'm saying? You know that certain people look at you in a certain way, but it's about who you know you are.
Yeah, you have to be strong.
You got to be strong.
I tell people all the time, it's called a cultural disillusion.
Exactly.
So you see the rappers, the entertainers, whatever, and I ain't even gonna get into like their cars be rented and their jewelry be fake, because they sell that real well, and then whatever you want to say, the powers that be, they market and promote that.
And you gotta compete with that.
Right.
But I'm not trying to compete with that.
The one of the things that I find, that I admire about you is, like I said, we see each other for these last, how long you been home now?
10 years.
All right, so I've been home 16 years. So in that time, we've been running into each other in events and all that, and yo, you grinded, and you never gave up. And I want to speak to that endurance and that perseverance and that resiliency that you have. Where does that come from?
I don't even know. I think it's from my grandmother, man. Like, my grandmother's like the strongest person like I ever seen in my life. Like, you know, so, and she always told me, like, you just don't quit. Like, that is not, like, quitting is not even something that's in your vocabulary. So, you know, I play sports. I was the last person off the court. We'd be down by 20. I'd be trying to win with 2 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? That's just always been who I am. That's part of me. You know what I'm saying? That's my makeup. So it's with everything. Like, somebody always told me, persistence breaks down resistance. And when you constantly do one thing, it's no way that you're not gonna win. Right. Only way you lose is when you quit. As long as it's time on the clock, you can win. You know what I'm saying? So my life my life is just starting. So it's, to me, like 10 years was nothing for me to grind and build up something that's gonna last for the rest of eternity. That's gonna trickle down into my kids and to their kids. Like, I'm trying to build a foundation, trying to create intergenerational wealth and education, and trying to build something that's way bigger than a couple of years of me being famous to somebody that I really don't even care about.